Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the sensational Mohegan Sun. It's the PartyPoker.net, the PDC's US Open, coming to you live and exclusive here on Nuts TV. Let's get the action underway. Our markers at the board are Dean Williams and Scott Gibbling, referees Mr. Russ Bray. Let's meet the players. Would you please welcome from Sussex, England, the conqueror, Adrian Gray, and the former two-time champion of the world, it's Dennis the Menace Priestley! Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Let's join our commentary team then, Steve Beaton and Rod Harrington.
Well, thank you, John. Yes, we're back here. The old fella, Dennis Priestley, the stalwart of the professional game, against one of the young guns, Adrian Gray. And Steve, the young man has really got a task on his hands because Dennis is coming back into some good form.
Yeah, poor old Dennis has been away for a while, hasn't he? Bit of illness and that, and it's nice to see him back. And if he's going to show some of his old form, I think, like you say, Adrian's up against it here.
Well, Dennis beat Michael Van Gerwen in an earlier round, and then Andy Jenkins to qualify. And Adrian Gray, as he mentioned in his interview earlier on with Becky, his best performance today was beating Phil Taylor in the Grand Prix last year. And I think we all expected him to really progress from there, but he's just getting to the last 16, last 32s, but he's just been a job to get over that hurdle.
Yeah, that was a big win for him last year. And like you say, he hasn't really excelled this year, has he? He's been hovering, and maybe this is the tournament for him.
Well, I spoke to him earlier on in the practice room, and he's quite upbeat. He's playing well, he says. He's been practicing hard, but he's up against one of our old mates, Dennis Priestley, just back from illness and playing as good as he's ever done. He really does not let people up. He does grind them down, Dennis. We know he's a slow thrower. Do you think that that's going to affect Adrian in this game?
I don't think, because Adrian can throw quite slow as well. I've played him last year, and he can play really slow, just like Dennis, and take his time. And he's a very confident young lad, isn't he? And it'd be interesting to see how the first few legs go, and I think that'll give us a true picture of how the game's going to go.
Well, as we said before, we class this as a very short format. We're seeing Chris Mason's game. One leg in that third set, you know, won the game for Chris Mason. He weren't playing at the top of his game. So it's just a sign that although things may not be going in your favour, you've got to hang in there because that one leg can change this game completely around.
96.
That's true.
Well, Adrian Gray's darts going like the Phil Taylor of old, laying down instead of kicking up.
85.
And the 85s, you know, you get an 85 or a ton come the end of this leg. If you've hit a few 85s, that means one, perhaps two darts you're missing at a double. Very important to stay consistent on that 20.
Yeah, it's all going to be down to the doubles at the end.
100.
If you're hitting steady tons, you're hoping for a shot. Unless you're playing Phil, obviously, where you've got to be in the 140s.
Yeah, I think most legs, level tons, will certainly get you down, and if you take the double out pretty clean, you're going to win legs. But there are the odd legs, the power scorers, and, you know, like we say about Taylor and Barnveld and James Wade now, you know, they do know how to hit that treble, so you have to fire in that odd 12 darter to nick a leg.
Both finding the range, they're not far off the treble. I mean, Dennis is straight in there. I think this is going to be a close game.
105.
Well, it looks like Dennis is playing with a new set of darts. They look nice and shiny, but they will be exactly the same as his old darts, and probably his old darts that he's had for the last 30 years. But Adrian Gray now needs a big score. If he wants to start nicking Dennis's legs, he's really got to hit this treble.
140.
Let's put a little bit of pressure on Dennis there. So Dennis looking for a turn or a 140 here to give him a chance in this leg. Oh, some nice darts there.
140.
Yeah, that's a great setup from Priestley. He now knows he's going to have three clear at 60. Adrian Gray, all he can do in this leg is just put some pressure on and hope that Dennis is going to miss. But them 5s, that's not pressure. He could do with another one of them. It's good darts from the young man. Put a bit of pressure on, but Dennis now 20 for double top
60
to win this first leg.
So there's the first one. He's got plenty of room to get around that double top. 2 10s now. That could be crucial.
Adrian, you require 41.
Well, you don't get many chances from the likes of Priestley and Barnevelt and Taylor, but this is a chance for young Adrian Gray. He wants double 16 for this first leg. Got to go about an inch up from there. And hits it.
The first leg.
We call that a nick, but he's done it. Good first leg from Gray.
Second leg, it's Adrian to throw first.
Yeah, and he's got the advantage now. He's took the throw off Dennis.
Yeah, he's taken the advantage off of Dennis. And if he can win this leg, then he's nicked the first set against the throw. And in good position to go on. And of course, Adrian Gray just inside the top 32. So any money he can earn here goes on that world rankings and push him down towards that 24th spot.
Back comes Dennis.
Lovely
darts. Dennis ain't going to let this go, is he?
Well, he's definitely a fighter. He's Priestley. And I have to say, a close-up of his darts there seems to be a lot more grooves, a lot more knurling on Dennis's darts than I've ever seen.
He's always had a light dart, though, hasn't he? It's always 12, 13 grams, isn't it? I don't know whether he's made it a bit heavier or it's still the same weight.
I think they are. They look like a nickel tungsten, which is obviously heavier than the old copper tungsten that he used to throw. But he used to throw a lot smoother dart. These look like they've got a lot more grip on there. But they're certainly working. But Dennis yesterday, after he'd beaten Andy Jenkins to qualify, he does seem to find it tiring these long days now, you know, with the tournaments we're having. And that's when a little bit of the fitness comes in, Steve. You know, I know yourself, you keep yourself fit, and it does make a difference, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think like he's had a bit of a rest now, Dennis. So he's only going to play the one game today, hasn't he? So he'll have a little bit of a break if he wins this one, and then obviously there's a few games tomorrow. But yeah, it's very hard work, long days.
100.
So he's kept him in front. 140, 265 for Adrian Gray. So Adrian needs to put a bit of pressure back on